Welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin and we're in the kitchen today and we are making a beverage. We're making a drink and I am so excited for this drink. So I really love port. I think it is the perfect dessert drink. One of my favorite ways to have port is just pour a little glass on a winter night when it's snowing, bundle up, get your blanket, and go sit on my front porch and kind of watch the snow and drink my little glass of port at nighttime. Um, I don't know. I think I romanticized it totally, and I love doing it, and I love port. However, port is expensive. But I found a new drink that reminds me a lot like port, or reminds me a lot of port, and I think I'm going to make this. I think it's probably cheaper than port, possibly. I think it's cheaper than port. Well, I know it's cheaper than port. But I'm making this, and I really, really like it. So this is called Cherry Bounce. And this was a drink that is actually said from the people that told me about this that it was one of George Washington's favorite drinks. So I'm going to make it. I've made it before, loved it. I made a batch to share with my mom. She kept some, I kept some, and I am just about out of mine. And so I'm going to make a whole batch for me, again, just because I really like it. And I think it's just the perfect dessert drink. So this is something that's actually going to take us a couple of days. So we're going to do something today. Tomorrow we're going to do something else. And then it's going to sit for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, it'll be ready to go. I actually don't know what happens in those 2 weeks. I'll be completely honest. I don't know that you necessarily have to do that. But we're going to do it. Because that's what the recipe says. So the ingredients you need a gallon jug. I have what I think is a gallon jug. I hope this fits. The recipe actually calls for fresh cherries. I'm not doing that. The first time I made it, I used cherry juice and I thought it was delicious. So I'm just going to save myself some time. I'm going to use some cherry juice. And then you need some sort of whiskey, brandy, bourbon, some sort of alcohol. I'll be honest, the first time we did this, I made this with, I think it was a Bird Dog bourbon, I think. And I've gone back and forth. My favorite cheap whiskey, when I go cheap, my favorite whiskey is Evan Williams. It's cheap, but I like whiskey, so we're good. I have gone back and forth on if this is the whiskey that I want to do. The bourbon that we did last, I think we did Bird Dog, or I don't quite remember. Anywho, we did a bourbon last time, and I think that helped make this a really smooth drink, really kind of more like the ports. With the Evan Williams, it has a little bit of that whiskey spice, aka whiskey burn, but I actually really like the whiskey burn, but I don't know if I'm going to like it in this drink. So I've gone back and forth. I bought this bottle for this drink. I've gone back and forth. Should I go get the bourbon? Should I not? We're going to move forward with this, and we're going to see if we like it. And if we don't, I'll drink it. I know I can mix other things to it and make it work. Or make, if you don't like this, if you don't like it, you could, cook this down and make a reduction and put it in, a pork loin or something. That would be really good, too. But it's not going to go to waste. But I thought we'd try it with the Evan Williams, see if we like it. But go ahead and get whatever bourbon or whiskey that you like to make this drink. So we're going to start in a gallon jug, and I have 3 cups of sugar that I'm going to add with a funnel into this gallon jug. And the first time I made this, I didn't have this jug, so I actually just used some half-gallon mason jars. I just kind of split everything evenly, and that works just fine. And this is a great thing, so I'm making it now. Sawyer, please stop. It's just June, so I'm making this now. But this is, because I want to test it to see if I really like it with this whiskey. But if I like it, Sawyer, if I like it, this is a great thing to make as gifts at Christmas time, and pass out as, just gifts. So to this, I have 2 containers of organic cherry juice. Right? Yeah. this may not fit. I'm going to go ahead and add in my entire bottle of whiskey. Come on, open for me. Oh, gotta do the thingy. Okay, I lied. I needed 2, so it has like a conversion if you don't use fresh cherries for how much juice you need. And you need 32 ounces of cherry juice, and this is 64. So I thought I needed 2 of these. I'm like, this is not gonna fit, but I think we're good. Okay. So, let me go ahead. Whoops. That's not the lid I want anyway. That's not the lid I want either. What lid do I want? And give it a shake. Get all of that sugar dissolved. I don't have a way to stir it, I don't think. I don't have a way to stir it, so I just need that sugar to dissolve kind of on its own.
As I'm watching this, I'm kind of trying to yell at myself, like, Kaylin, just let it go. That sugar will dissolve on its own. You don't need to mess with it, just let it go. But I don't. I don't let it go. What I end up trying to do is I try to mix it in the container. It doesn't work. I end up pouring it into a big bowl, mixing it, and then pouring it back in the container where the sugar just separates again. Bottom line, just leave it alone. That sugar will dissolve on its own without needing to do any of the mess that I made. When I mixed it, I spilt it. It was a whole big mess. Don't do what I did.
I'm just going to let that sugar, hopefully, dissolve as this sits. So this is going to sit for 24 hours. And we'll be back tomorrow to do the next step. We are back with our cherry bounce. It's been 24 hours and it is time for us to do the next steps. So I have my cherry bounce. And I'm just going to pour about 2 cups into my skillet. Okay. And then to it, I'm going to add 2 cinnamon sticks broken into pieces. 2 to 3 cloves, which I didn't realize I didn't have. Okay, that was good. So I'm not going to be adding the cloves. And then it says 1 piece of fresh whole nutmeg. So I have a nutmeg. Smells good. I'm going to add that in there. And then we'll let that simmer for 5 minutes. Then we'll let it cool and we'll add it back into our mixture. At this point, you can taste this, and we will taste it to see what the sweetness is like. And you can decide to add more sugar if you need it to be sweeter. That is so good. That is so good. I'm not going to add any sugar to it. I think the sweetness is perfect. I initially had reservations about the kind of whiskey that I use. So I used Edwin Williams instead of using more of like a smooth bourbon. And I think it tastes really, really good. So now with this, we're going to let this sit for 2 weeks before serving. And I think that's going to help round out the flavors more. Currently, the Edwin Williams that I use is a whiskey that has just a smidgen of a bite to it, a smidgen of spice. And I personally like the spice. And I will say I don't get a lot of the spice in this mixture so far, but it's not quite as smooth as the first batch of this that I made when I used the smoother bourbon. So I don't know if that's because of the smoother bourbon or because I haven't let it sit for 2 weeks. So either way, it's 1,000% drinkable and it is delicious. So this is something that I am so excited to have. It is the middle of summer right now, so I'm gonna drink it obviously, but this is something I'm so excited to have like on rotation in the winter. Just a little glass, like I have a little whiskey glass, put a little bit in here and kind of sip it around a fire when it's snowing. It sounds like the perfect evening. So I'm so excited for winter nights when I'm gonna partake in this. So I'm just gonna let this come to a simmer for 5 minutes, cool, and then we'll add it back into this jug and let it sit for 2 weeks. I hope you guys try this recipe. If you do, let me know. And I would be interested in trying different juices with this sometimes, like maybe like how grape juice would do. Maybe a potential apple juice. So maybe something that we can look into further in the future. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you try this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, friends.